How to forgive when he's cheated. In this video, I'm going to share 5 things you need to know before you decide to forgive him, and 2 incredible things that I did that changed everything for me in my marriage. I'm Naomi Thompson. I'm a dating and relationship coach, and I help accomplished women attract and keep the love of their lives. Let's dive in. If you've recently discovered infidelity in your relationship, then I know how awful that feels. The ground no longer feels solid beneath your feet and your emotions are unbearably painful. I've been there, darling, and I want you to know you are not alone, and I really, really get you. So the whole idea of forgiveness isn't saying, I'm okay with you or what you did. Forgiveness is saying, I'm no longer willing to hold on to the resentment and anger because it's affecting me. I'm ready to move on. However, forgiveness takes time, and the painful feelings you're having may make you want to jump the pain and go straight to forgiveness. But this won't work. If you truly want to heal and build your inner strength so that you can actually emerge from this whole awful experience stronger and more confident than you've ever been before, then you need to let the process unfold. The first step is to take time out to process your emotions. Cry, fall into the arms of your friends or your family, or find a support system of people who've also experienced this. There's coaches, there's Facebook groups, there's so many people who have been feeling the feelings that you're feeling now. When we discover an affair, we are plunged into shock and grief. The shock makes everything feel distorted and unreal, like the ground beneath your feet isn't solid. And we start to feel grief for the relationship we thought we had, the life we thought we had, the reality we thought we had before the discovery of the affair. And the feelings will likely be overwhelming. And you may feel tempted to jump straight to intimacy and forgiveness because the distance between you and him may feel agonizing. But I recommend taking time out from him to process and feel your feelings. Go to the gym, hang out with friends, go for a walk, cry, speak with your therapist, see a coach. Process and feel your feelings some of the time away from him. So you might find that your head is churning with angry thoughts. Take time out to feel your feelings. Angry and churning thoughts can be a really effective anesthetic to the painful feelings, but overthinking will absolutely slow down your recovery. And it's your gut feelings that are going to help you to discern whether this relationship is worth saving and worth forgiving. Feeling your feelings is something that we women it feels alien to us. And I know when I went through this pain of infidelity in my marriage, I didn't know how to feel my feelings. So literally just letting your body go limp, softening your muscles, just lay back on your bed, lay back in a chair, and let all the feelings just move around your body. This might feel really strange if you've never done this before, but I'm telling you now, the way to process really in a healthy way that's going to really set you up for long-term healing and recovery is to really allow your feelings to move through you. And that just means literally letting them be there without the anesthetic of alcohol, feeling, churning angry thoughts. Just feel the feelings. The second vital step here is to ask him to share more details about the infidelity, because your imagination is going to come up with the worst case scenario, like, oh my God, he's about to empty the bank account and go off and take the children. You are going to come up with all sorts of scenarios, and even though it's painful, it's so much better to hear the truth of what he tells you. Now, obviously, not every man will want to tell you what happened. Some will still be denying that the affair has happened. But at least see if you can open up the lines of communication and just say, please just tell me what happened. It is going to help you heal in the long term, and this opens up the lines of communication between you. The third vital step in this process is don't plead or beg him. The only man you want to be in a relationship with is one who is 100% there of his own accord. Your boyfriend or husband's attitude in the aftermath of the discovery is going to tell you so much about his willingness to mend this with you, his willingness to grow with you or not. This wound in your relationship can be an opportunity for you both to grow individually and as a couple. And you want to see if he's willing to sit with you through the difficult conversations. Is he willing to look at why he defaulted to cheating? And also you want to know that this isn't a one and done situation for you. It's not that you've had a big conversation and then that's it. You don't talk about it again. You want to know that you feel safe to actually have conversations with him over time to slowly heal from this. You want to know that he's willing for that. Right. The fourth step here is remember, it's not personal. Oh my God, I know how personal it feels. It feels like he did this to me, she did this to me, they did this to me. But actually, it isn't personal. It's nothing you did or didn't do that made your partner cheat on you. Some people have that default when the going gets tough. Instead of having difficult conversations or trying to improve the relationship, their default is to cheat. Okay? That kind of person is not going to be safe to have a loving, committed, long-term relationship with until they do their work and understand why the hell it is they do that. But in the meantime, remembering, or even just having moments where you take on the idea that it isn't personal. They did not do this to you. Someone else's behavior doesn't mean there is anything wrong with you. It doesn't mean you are any less lovable. It doesn't mean you are any less worthy of a loving, committed relationship and to be with someone who's faithful and loyal to you. It is not personal. But I do know that our wounds can run deep. If we have abandonment fears from our childhood, from previous relationships, it can feel like our world is crashing down, and it is something we are doing, and it's something wrong with us. There is nothing wrong with you. Now, we all have the opportunity to learn and grow. Absolutely. And I will share more about this in the 2 things that I did that really turned everything around. So stay on for those. But if you can just take on the idea, even for a few moments, that it isn't personal. When someone cheats on you, it is personal to them. It says more about them than it does about you. Now, the 5th thing here is use this time to reassess what you actually want and need in a relationship. Step back and look at your relationship as it was before the discovery. Actually, what wasn't working for you? What relational needs were not being met? However painful, this time can be a huge opportunity to end up in the best relationship of your life, either with your current partner or with another man further down the line. So the 2 things that I did that really changed everything for me in my life and fast-tracked my healing after my husband's infidelity. First, I asked myself, how am I responsible for my part in the breakdown of my marriage that it to the point just before he decided to have an affair? I am not responsible, and you are not responsible for your partner choosing to have an affair. But what I found is when I asked myself, what actually am I responsible for? I am the other partner in this marriage. What am I responsible for? Now, I found that when I looked, I thought, well, actually, I was quite armored. I wasn't very connected to my feelings. I became very critical in the relationship. And I didn't actually know how to speak up clearly for my wants and needs and desires. Now, this wasn't an opportunity to beat myself up, and it's not an opportunity for you to beat yourself up. This is an opportunity for you to take some of your power back. When you can say, actually, I didn't speak up for certain situations. I found it really hard to talk about wanting to improve the marriage and talk about the needs I have in a relationship, and I didn't do that. Again, you're not beating yourself up. What you're doing is giving yourself a huge amount of power in your situation. When someone has an affair, you can feel almost powerless. And this is a way of saying, well, look, actually, I can take responsibility for my life and how I show up in relationships. How about I learn this now so that actually I can take new, more powerful habits and patterns into my future relationship with this guy or another guy. And again, this isn't about you saying, oh my gosh, it's all my fault. I've done something wrong. I shouldn't have done this or I shouldn't have done this. No, you are not responsible for your partner choosing to be unfaithful in the relationship. That is his responsibility, not yours. However, it's just worth looking at what did I bring to the relationship? What was my part that made there be a disconnection that ended in an infidelity? Sometimes there may not be very much for you to see, but it's really worth looking. And everything I share with you here is about moving you towards emotional maturity. And it's a very emotionally mature thing to do, to take responsibility for the things that happen in life, but not to blame yourself. The second thing I did is I realized I had a choice. I had a choice to toughen up, to armor up, and to be vigilant for my husband or any future partner about whether or not they were being faithful or not, to be looking out for signs, to be guarded, and to not trust. I knew that I couldn't live a life like that. So everything I've shared with you in these steps is about growing your inner strength. So I decided to learn how to trust myself to be okay no matter what happens in life. I cannot control what another human being chooses to do or not do. I have no power or control over that. But what I do have is the ability, power, and control to trust myself to be okay no matter what happens in life. And that is all about growing to be more emotionally mature, following the steps that I have put in this video. When you follow the process, then the decision to forgive and stay or to forgive and leave becomes clearer. You can listen to your gut feeling. And when you start being able to really listen to your gut feeling, that brings you to a place of discernment. You can discern, is this the right relationship for me or not? Not, do I feel desperate and needy and urgent and just want to cling on to him? It's actually, this is an opportunity for me. This is my one true and precious life. What do I really want for myself? And what am I willing to learn and do to be able to grow and have the relationship that I really want? So, my loves, there is hope. You can absolutely move through this. And remember, patience. It takes time, but the faster track to get there is by learning to connect with your feelings and follow the steps that I've given you. I do have a free audio training. I'll pop the link in the description below. The 5 keys to getting the love you want, whether you're single and dating or whether you're in a relationship. These are keys that I followed for me. Subscribe to my channel and send me your comments and send me your questions. I love reading them and I read every single one. Loads of love to you, my darling.